Hey everybody, this is Lydia Middleton, Executive Director of ASIS, coming to you from Leesburg, Virginia, where my home office is located. We are in the midst of a very hot summer here. I hope those of you in the Northern Hemisphere are able to stay cool in this hot weather, and those of you in the South are enjoying a nice winter without too much harsh weather. So I have a lot to catch you up on. I thought I would do this as video. Today I'm going to download a transcript as well, so hopefully everybody can follow along. Let's start out with the board meeting. The board met at the end of May, beginning of June in Boston for a strategic planning retreat. We haven't held one of those in several years, not since COVID, in part because of COVID and in part to save money because it is expensive to travel a global board of directors anywhere. We were fortunate enough to have, let's see, I think 8 of our 10 board members in attendance, and one more, Tina Du from Australia, was online. And we had some really robust, good conversation around strategic directions. You all will remember that we're really in the end of year 3 of a 5-year strategic plan. So we already have a lot of things on our plate and new things that we're doing. So this was an opportunity to think about what might we want to take off our plate that we're currently doing that is not a high priority, as well as teeing up some new things to start thinking about for the future. So very good, productive meeting in Boston. A few business related things that were decided. One is that we are, although we were somewhat disappointed in the performance of the mid-year meeting this year, we get a lot of demand from members to create opportunities for virtual attendance and presentation at a meeting, a peer-reviewed meeting. And so that's what we did when we created the mid-year conference. And then we got very low levels of both submissions and attendance at that meeting. So it was concerning that the demand that we perceived for this may not actually exist, but we're going to give it another try in the coming year. What we're going to do is put out a call for proposals from our members to invite a member institution to pull together the next mid-year conference and try and see if we can get more engagement, more activity and excitement doing the meeting that way. So keep an eye out for a call for participation for that coming down the pike. Another thing we decided to do was to outsource the archiving work. We're in the process of moving out of our office building. Our lease ends beginning of February of 24. And we're going to take the entire organization virtual. We essentially are virtual now, but we do still have this office space that we lease and a lot of furniture and files and books and so forth in that space. So we are packing up all those files. We are going to send them to a member institution in the hopes that we can have the archives of the association reviewed, curated, and eventually sent to the University of Michigan, where our archives are housed. So we put out a call for proposals for that as well. We're hoping that an institution will want to use it as a project for an archiving course. So look out for that. I think that is also mentioned in this Inside ASIS. The mid-year conference is not yet developed entirely, so that is not yet in this Inside ASIS. Another idea that we came up with was potentially expanding complementary memberships to adjunct faculty. For those of you not in the United States, external lecturer is another way of thinking about those folks. And we would look at doing this as a means to get more people that are working in industry and practice into the ASIS membership to really inform us about, sort of on the ground research needs and to develop a better dialogue between academics and practitioners in information science. So that's coming down the road. Keep an eye out for that. The board agreed to use the ASIS Scholarship Fund, which was sitting about $4,000 at the beginning of this year, as a means to provide scholarships to Tier 2 members who have concluded their first 2 free years of membership and wish to continue and do not have the financial means to pay the very modest, but still significant for many people, dues for that membership category. And so we have funded so far 46 Tier 2 members to continue on their membership in ASIS. The criteria for that is essentially level of prior engagement in ASIS. So if somebody has attended a webinar or put a profile on iConnect or even a profile on GrowthZone in the member database, that indicates that that person is engaged with the association. And we have quite a few Tier 2 members who are very engaged, going to webinars all the time, volunteering for committees and so forth. So we're happy to support those folks in continuing their membership with ASIS. So if you're a Tier 2 member and you know your 2 years are going to be concluding soon, I encourage you to take advantage of those opportunities to demonstrate engagement in the association so that we can make sure that we can support you going forward. So those are some of the things the board decided at its meeting a couple of months ago in Boston. The board will meet again on August 14th. Among other things, they'll be looking at the program for the annual meeting and various other things leading into the annual meeting. Speaking of the annual meeting, we are really excited at the level of interest in the meeting. We had record-setting submissions, not just record-setting for an international meeting, but record-setting for any ASIS meeting in the last 10 years or so. We're going to have a very robust program. We expanded the number of meeting rooms we have at the hotel so that we can accommodate more presenters. We're doing 2 nights of poster session instead of just 1, again, to accommodate more presenters. We know that you need to be able to present to come to the meeting. So we're trying to create as many opportunities as we can for you to do that. Great keynote speakers. Take a look at the website to see what you have to look forward to there. And a really robust program, and I think we're going to see really good attendance. We've got over 100 people registered already, and the early bird deadline is still about 3 weeks out. So we're really excited about seeing all of you in London. We feel as if people have a pent-up demand for face-to-face meetings and travel. We saw some of that play out in Salt Lake, or in Pittsburgh rather, but we think we will see a whole lot of people at this annual meeting, and we're very excited about it. In other news, the board elections have concluded. You'll see that elsewhere in this Inside ASIS. Congratulations to Ian Ruthven, who was elected president-elect, and Bhakti Gala and Luann Cinnamon, who were elected as members at large. And our thanks go out to those folks who ran and weren't elected this year, but we hope you will consider running again. You know, good level of participation, though not great in the election. We had about 12% of the membership vote. So I encourage you to pay attention to that. This is your association. We want you to make sure that your leadership reflects you and your interests. So please do keep paying attention to that. Committee appointments are underway. If you submitted an email, or I'm sorry, a form saying you wanted to volunteer, you probably have already heard from us about a volunteer position, whether it was a committee or a chapter or a special interest group. If you haven't heard from us, it likely means we are going to propose you as a member of an award jury. We got about 80 submissions for volunteers, and we had maybe 25 committee slots to fill. So, we had to be judicious about how we allocated those spots, while also making sure that we provide opportunities for everybody that wants to be engaged as a volunteer in the association to do that. So again, the juries for awards are not appointed until typically beginning of the calendar year. So if you have not heard anything about your submission to volunteer by February-ish, please get back in touch with me, and I'll make sure that your information is passed along. But again, if you haven't heard from us, it's probably because we're going to propose you as a jury volunteer. If you did not volunteer to be on a jury and you haven't heard from me, email me and let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Awards have been decided. That information also in this Inside ASIS. Congratulations to all of our award winners. We're looking forward to seeing you all in London and having the opportunity to hand these awards out to our very deserving winners. So please join me in congratulating those folks. I think that is everything for right now. We will be back in touch with you one more time before annual meeting. with any last minute updates. But right now we are just very excited about how the meeting looks and looking forward to seeing as many of you there as possible. So happy summer or winter, whichever one you happen to be in right now. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.